Welcome to Eureka Math. This is Module 2, Lesson 25, and our objective today is to use basic math facts to approximate decimal quotients with two-digit divisors, reasoning about the placement of the decimal point. Okay, let me explain that to you. So let's say I have a number like 721, and I want to divide it by 91, and I'm going to put this decimal right here because we're talking about decimals. Now I'm going to estimate the answer. So I'm basic math facts. So there I see this 9 and this 72, and I know 9 goes into 72 perfectly 8 times, right? So about 8. So that's my math fact, right? But these are decimal quotients, so I have to figure out where the decimal goes, and they're two-digit divisors. So my divisor here, 91, is 2 digits, and we're going to reason about where the placement of the decimal goes. So here's my question, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to approximate. So I'm going to call this 7 2/10, right, or 20 hundredths, divided by 90. Do you see? I'm just rounding down to the nearest hundredth, rounding down to the nearest one. Then I know that 9 goes into 72 8 times, so I know that 8 is going to be in there somewhere. Now the zeros are going to cancel out, but only on the right side. So let's see. If I consider this to be thousandths, right? So 720 thousandths. Let me just do that. I'm going to write it like that. 720 thousandths divided by 90. I'm going to get as my answer, I'm sorry, hundredths. Shoot, that's hundredths. I didn't mean to confuse you. I'm going to get as my answer 8 hundredths, right? Okay. So let's try it. Name on your paper. And we're going to try this again. So what we're doing here is we're looking for our math facts. So I see 8 here, and if I round that down to the nearest 10, I'm going to get 80. But 80 will go into 32 evenly, won't it? 8 will go into 32 4 times. So let's call this 3 20 hundredths. Do you see that? So that equals, and I'm going to take the decimal out, and I'm just going to call it 320 hundredths divided by 80 equals, okay, now let's divide. So this cancels out this, and 8 goes into 32 4 times, so it's 4 hundredths. Now my 4 hundredths, I've got to write back in decimal form again, and that looks like that, okay? Not too hard, but you just got to keep track of what you're doing. If you want, on a side piece of paper, you can do long division to check your work, as long as your long division is good, okay? And 80 is not going to go into 3. 80 is not going to go into 32 tenths. 80 will go into 320 hundredths, and it will go into that. So that's 0, 0, and it will go into it 4 times. So 4 times 0 here, and 32 there. Okay. Excellent. All right, let's keep going. Okay. So I'm still looking for my math facts. So there's that 6. I'm going to go ahead and round that down to 60. And 6 will go into 36 really nicely. So let's call this 3600. I'm just going to cut that decimal off completely because I don't need it, actually, not if I'm going to estimate. And then this becomes really easy because this cancels out this, and 6 goes into 36 6 times. All right, I didn't even need to worry about the decimal because I took it off when I estimated. Now, for letter C, I can't. So let's see what we've got. 3 doesn't go nicely into 7, does it? It's going to have a leftover. But if we have a leftover of 12, that might work. Not a big fan, but let's see what we can do. Let's see, 30 into 72. Okay, let's check that out. So let's see, 7 and 20 hundredths divided by 30 equals 720 hundredths divided by 30. Okay, so I can take this 0 and this 0, and 3 into 72. If you can't do that in your head, you can always just do a little cheat over here. It's 24. So our answer is going to be 24, but what? 24 hundredths. This is why you got to put those little cheat things on the side. So you can, hundredths, THS, okay. Now I want to write that as 24 hundredths, so like that, right? Seems to make sense. Okay, next one. This one I'm going to round down to 30 right away. And 30 into what would work here? 25 is not going to, 85 is not going to work. 86 is not going to work. What is a multiple of 3? 80, 20, 81? Maybe we could make work. But let's just, you know what? Let's just round up to 90, huh? Let's just round up to 90. 85 to 90. That's easy. Then we don't have to worry about the decimal. 30 goes into 90. 3 times. Just like that. No decimal at all. Letter E. Okay. Oh, that one's nice too. 27 and 97 hundredths divided by 28. Well, let's just do this. Yeah? I think that's going to help us out the best. Okay, estimate the quotient in A. Use your estimated quotient to estimate B and C. All right. Okay, so let's round up to 40. Okay, well, we'll try that. 40. And then 4 goes into 7 terribly. It could go into 80 pretty reasonably, but not in the nicest way. Let's see. 3 does not like 7 either. Let's see. Okay. Well, let's round it up to 8. Okay. So there I've got 8 ones divided by 40. So I'm just going to call that 8 hundredths. No, sorry, 800 hundredths. Divided by 40 equals, and then I can cross this one off and this one off, and 4 will go into 80 20 times. My answer is 20 hundredths, okay, which looks like that, right? So let's see what we get down here. Okay, now I've got this, and I'm gonna use the same estimates, but this time I'm gonna put the decimal in a different place because there's no decimal here. And that, take this 0 and this 0, and 4 goes into 80 how many times? 20. And here, I've got 80.0 divided by 40. And then that one, right, would be 800 tenths divided by 40, which would equal, you got it, 20 tenths. And 20 tenths equals 2, right? Okay, next one. Number 3. Edward bikes the same route to and from school every day. Okay, so there's his house, and there's his school, and he goes the same route every day. There and back. Okay. After 28 days, school days, he bikes a total distance of 389 and 2/10 miles. Estimate how many miles he bikes in one day. Okay, so what we have to do to figure out one day is take this number of miles divided by number of days that now we're going to estimate. So let's go ahead and round this up to 30. Oop, I want a little more space there. And this I'm going to round to 390. Okay, which equals 13. 13 miles every day. That's a lot. That's far. He must live in the country. Wow, that's a lot of miles. Which makes me think the question might be wrong, but I think that's right. Okay. If Edward continues his route of biking to school, about how many days altogether will it take him to reach a total distance of 500 miles? So now, if we are estimating he goes 13 miles a day, we're going to divide 500 by 13, okay? And we can do that like this. 13 goes into 53 times. And I have 11 left over. Bring down the 0. 13 will go into 110. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Let's guess. 7. Eight times. Right, 29, so let's go 8 times instead. That's why we have erasers. That beeping is my washing machine, if you're wondering. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2. 8 times 1 is 8, 9, 10. And we have 6 left over. So about how many days altogether would it take him to reach a total distance of 500 miles? Well, it would probably take him 39 days. Cool. Javier goes to the store with $40. He spends $38.60 on 13 bags of popcorn. About how much does one bag of popcorn cost? About how much? So he spent this, and he bought this, and now we're estimating. So 13, we could, see, 26, 39, yeah. We could estimate 39 divided by 13, which would equal $3. That's an expensive bag of popcorn too. All right, but 13 goes into 39 how many times? 3 times, right? Let's just double check our work. Yep, there it is. Does he have enough money for another bag? I don't think so. If he spent $40 or he used had $40 and he spent $38.60. I'm going to have to say that he probably doesn't. Oh, maybe yes. He's got $3.40. He can buy one more bag. Great. Okay, so we're just estimating quotients, So this is math facts and using math facts to figure out how to divide and then where those decimals go. Okay, so ask me for help if you need it, and have a great day.